Hey, magandang buhay. So ako si Sir Ben at narito ako upang ituro sa iyo ang inverse variation. Okay, so ready ka na? Great. So ano nga ba itong inverse variation? So inverse variation occurs whenever a situation produces pairs of numbers whose product is constant. Anong ibig sabihin nun? So say for example may dalawa tayong variables na x and y. Whenever x is increasing, yung y nagdi-decrease siya. Or vice versa, kapag yung x decreasing, yung y increasing. Baliktaran. Kaya inverse. So yun yung inverse variation. In real life situation, meron din mga examples ng inverse variation. Ano itong mga to? Example, the number of pizza slices na makakain ng isang tao doon sa number of people or yung mga tao na mag-share doon sa pizzang yon. Example, yung pizza, 12 slices siya. Kung isang tao lang ang kakain doon, yung 12 na yon sa kanya. Pag dalawa sila, tig 6 sila. Kung tatlo sila, tig 4 sila. Kung 4 sila, tig 3 sila. Ibig sabihin, habang dumadami yung taong mag-share doon sa pizza na yon, pakonti na pakonti yung number of slices na makakain ng isang tao. Inverse variation yon. Okay? Sunod, the number of persons needed to do a certain job to the number of days to finish it. Say for example, kunwari so days or oras. Say for example, lilinisin ko yung isang kwarto, aabutin ako ng kunwari isang araw. So kung dalawa kami maglilinis doon, kukonting oras. Kung magiging tatlo kami maglilinis, mas kukonti pa yung oras doon. So ibig sabihin dito, habang dumarami yung tao na maglilinis sa isang kwarto, kukonti yung oras para matapos yung paglilinis. Inverse variation yon. Last na example na ipapakita ko sa video na to, the cost of person renting a private resort to the number of persons sharing it. Say for example, may outing. Kung ikaw lang mag-isa ang magre-rent ng isang villa, okay, malaking babayaran mo. Kung dalawa kayo, syempre, yung babayaran mo, mahahati. Kung magiging tatlo kayong mag-share dun sa villa na yon, yung babayaran mo, mas kukunti pa. Ibig sabihin dito, habang dumadami kayo na magre-rent sa villa na yon or sa resort na yon, ibig sabihin nun, mas kukonti yung i-share mong bayad. So that is an example of inverse variation. Okay? So, yung equation ng inverse variation, eto siya. Y is equal to k over x. So, basa natin dyan, y is inversely proportional to x. No? So, yung tandaan na yung x or pwede siyang y varies inversely as x. So, or inversely proportional. Either of the two. Tandaan na yung y, depende yan sa x. So, ibig sabihin, whatever the value of x, okay, doon didepende yung y. No? So, identify natin ngayon yung equation sa bawat situation dito. No? So, number of pizza slices per person to the number of persons sharing the whole pizza. Yung number of slices, depende yan sa bilang ng tao na mag-share. So, number of slices, siguro pwede ko siyang gawin i-denote as letter S. Yung number of persons sharing, siguro pwede ko siyang gawin as letter P. So again, yung letter S, yung slices ng pizza, depende yan sa taong mag-share dun sa pizzang yon. So in that case, yung equation natin is S varies inversely as P. Okay, S is equal to K over P. Sunod, the number of persons needed to do a certain job to the number of days to finish it. So, yung araw na magagamit, depende yan sa number of people. So again, yung days kasi, D, depende yan doon sa dami ng tao or people, which is letter P. So in that case, D varies inversely as P, or D is equal to K over P. Ganyan siya. Yung pangatlo, the cost per person, so siguro letter C na lang, renting a private resort to the number of persons sharing it. So letter P ulit yung gagamitin ko kasi number of persons sharing it. So again, depende, yung babayaran mo, depende yan sa bilang ng tao na mag-share doon sa pagre-rent. So in that case, this would be C varies inversely as P. C is equal to K over P. Nagkataon lang na puro P yung ating independent variable. Nagkataon lang 'yan, okay? Sunod naman is yung graph ng isang inverse variation. Yung graph ng isang inverse variation, ganito yung itsura niya. Okay? So pababa siya, no? So, again, identify natin yung mismong equation of variation ng graph na to. So again, since this is an inverse variation, syempre y is equal to k over x. So, identify natin or isulat natin yung table. So, yung table that will represent this graph would be this one. Sir, bakit may blanco? Kasi, when x is 3, hindi ko mawari kung anong eksakto niya dito. When x is 5, hindi ko rin siya ma-identify kung ano yung exact number niya sa y. Pero, makukuha rin natin yan mamaya. How to identify muna natin yung constant of variation. So, if we want to identify the constant of variation, mag-try ka lang ng mag-partner dyan na x and y using this equation. Yung y is equal to k over x. So, ginawa ko niyan dito, nag-try ako ng dalawang pairs. So, una, if x is 1, y is 4. So, ito yung una kong ginamit. Solving for k is equal to 4. So, mag-try pa tayo ng isa to support that k is really equal to 4. So, ginawa ko, ginamit ko yung 2. If x is 2, y is 2. Solving for k, definitely k is equal to 4. So, ibig sabihin nun, yung constant of variation natin ay k. Yung ating equation of variation, yung k dito, palitan na natin siya ng 4. No? Next, kumpletuhin na natin yung table. So, gagawin ko niyan dito, yung x, papalitan ko ng 3. So, if x is 3, therefore, y is 4/3. So, ayun siya. If x is 5, so gagawin ko niyan, yung x dito, papalitan ko ng 5. So, kung yung x na palitan ng 5, magiging 4 over 5 ito. Therefore, y is 4/5. Ayun siya. No? Since, again, nag-solve tayo ng constant of variation, proceed na tayo sa solving. So, let us have the first example. If y varies inversely as x, and y is equal to 10 when x is equal to 2, what is the value of y when x is equal to 24? Again, obvious na inverse variation ito because of this one. Y varies inversely as x. So, since y varies inversely as x, yung equation natin, y is equal to k over x. So, next, focus tayo sa given. Y is equal to 10 when x is equal to 2. Ibig sabihin nun, yung x palitan ng 2, yung y palitan ng 10. As you can see on our screen. Solve for the constant of variation. So, ibig sabihin dito, solve for k, multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So, k na would be equal to 20. So, meron na tayong constant of variation. Ang gagawin natin dito is identify na natin yung equation of variation. So, palitan ko lang ng k. Or papalitan ko lang yung k ng 20. So, in that case, y is equal to 20 over x. After natin ma-identify yung equation of variation, focus na tayo dun sa tanong dito sa problem na to. What is the value of y when x is 24? Ang gagawin natin dito, palitan natin yung x ng 24. So, y is equal to 20 over 24. Lowest term natin yan, that would be 5 over 6. Next example tayo. So, the number of days needed in repairing a house varies inversely as the number of men working. So, doon pa lang sa first sentence, alam na natin na inverse variation siya. And, based sa situation, inverse variation din yan as being presented kanina sa first part ng video na to. It takes 15 days for 2 men to repair the house. How many men are needed to complete the job in 6 days? So, y is equal to k over x. So, again, yung number of days, depende yan sa dami ng tao. No? So, in that case, d is equal to k over m. So, m, men. D, days. Focus tayo sa given. Sabi dito, it takes 15 days for 2 men to repair the house. Ibig sabihin nun, yung D, palitan natin ng 15 and yung M, palitan natin ng 2. Solve for K, which is the constant of variation. Multiply both sides of the equation by 2. K would be equal to 30. Next na gagawin natin, since may constant of variation na tayo, equation of variation naman. So, dun sa Y is equal to K over X or D is equal to K over M, palitan yung K ng 30. Ayan siya. Focus na tayo sa tanong, how many men are needed to complete the job in 6 days? So, yung 6 dito, ipapalit natin siya sa letter D. Solving for M, how? Tawag dito, multiply both sides of the equation by 1 over 6 para maging 1 over 30 over 6M. After that, multiply both sides of the equation by M. So, magiging ganito siya. Simplifying this one, M na will be equal to 5. Ibig sabihin ito, ang kailangan ay 5 tao para matapos yung certain job na yon in 6 days. Down to our last example. Person A is figuring out a way to reach a certain place at the shortest possible time. Using a car, person A can reach the place in 6 hours at an average speed of 70 kilometers per hour. How fast should person A drive in order to reach that certain place in 5 hours? So, i-analyze natin. Hindi nakalagay na inversely or varies inversely. Though this example is an problem that involves inverse variation. Pero paano? Tignan nyo ha. Si person A, pupunta siya sa isang lugar. Sabi niya dito, ma-reach niya yung lugar na yon in 6 hours and an average speed of 70 kilometers per hour. Ngayon, gusto niyang ma-attain na makarating siya doon sa lugar na yun in 5 hours. So, ibig sabihin nun, para makarating siya sa lugar na yun in 5 hours, kailangan niyang bilisan. So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung number of hours, bumaba, and para ma-achieve niya yun, kailangan yung 70, taasan pa niya. So, bumaba yung oras, tumaas naman yung speed. Inverse variation siya nun. Okay? So, ano yung magiging equation natin? Dito, depende yung oras sa bilis. So, in that case, T is equal to D over S. Actually, ito yung formula ng time with respect to distance and speed. No? So, yung distance dito, yun yung magiging constant. Kasi yung constant of variation, yun yung magiging constant of variation, yung distance. Kasi same distance lang naman eh. Same place lang naman yung pupuntahan ni person A. Hindi naman magbabago yung pupuntahan ni person A. Kaya constant of variation yung distance natin. Okay? Next, substitute tayo. Sabi dito, person A can reach that place in 6 hours at a speed of 70 kilometers per hour. So, ibig sabihin nun, yung T palitan ng 6, yung S palitan ng 70. Solve for D or yung constant of variation natin. So, D na would be equal to 420. So, kumbaga, minultiply ko ito, yung both sides of the equation by 70. So, ibig sabihin yung distance natin is 420 kilometers. So, may constant of variation na tayo, equation of variation. So, yung D, palitan ng 420. Ayan siya. So, yung equation of variation natin, T is equal to 420 over S. Sabi dito, how fast should a person drive in order to reach that certain place in 5 hours? So, ang tinatanong dito is yung S. So, yung T, papalitan ko ng 5. Solving for S. So, we can do here, we divide both sides by, or we multiply both sides by S over 5. So, bali magiging S is equal to 420 over 5. Simplifying that one, S na would be 84. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan ni person A na mag-drive sa speed na 84 kilometers per hour para makarating siya doon sa place na yon in 5 hours. Okay? So, inverse variation, basta alam yung concept, when one is increasing, the other one is decreasing or vice versa. When it comes to solving, identify muna yung constant of variation, then after that, yung equation of variation, and then proceed dun sa tanong, sa mismong problem. So, napakadali and napakasimple lang ng inverse variation. And with that, maraming salamat sa pakikinig and magandang buhay!